And welcome back to the Midday Show. I'm Jeff Everett. He is Mark Messina. We're going to talk about Fox News. They're making moves. Something's about to happen, possibly. We're going to talk about wieners, and more wieners. We had the 4th of July weekend, so obviously everybody probably had a hot dog or two. And Heinz ketchup came up through in a big way for all you retail shoppers. And then we're going to do Quizzo. John Mackey's back. We're going to try to tackle, conquer. We're officially quiz masters. I don't know what the next phase is. But we're gonna keep climbing that mountain. But more importantly than anything else today, Mark, how are you feeling?
I am really good, and I'll tell you why. This shows you how old I have become.
Okay.
Probably, what time is it? An hour ago, I talked to you on the phone, and I told you of a local establishment that I was thinking about stopping at to get food.
Yes.
Or lunch. And then I remembered I have leftovers in the fridge here.
Okay.
Because last night I ate outside at Boom City and I took my leftovers. So you know how exciting it is when you've got like good leftovers in the fridge for lunch the next day?
I do not. I don't.
You see, there is maybe you're not old enough, but there is this has really added a spring to my step in the last 45 minutes when I've realized that I have lunch already there. A, it's good. B, I don't have to go get it. I don't have to spend any money on it. I'm pumped.
It is funny, as you get older, the subtle things become more and more exciting. I have always talked about, for me, the first time I noticed this was with Christmas presents or birthday presents. So one of the things that I consistently get for Christmas is I get a brand new electric razor. My mom does it every year. And you have it is the most exciting. I am so excited to get my new razor every Christmas, which I know sounds insane. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe I'm reaching, I'm getting older to the point where those subtle things are more exciting, but I'm not quite to the point of food in the fridge leftover excited.
And Jerry will make fun of me. I am not a food person. We discussed pizza places the other day, and he went through all the different, the crusts and the this and the that. And I was just like, no, they're really good. Oh, no, they're really good, too. No, they're really good. And he makes fun of me that I don't get food. But, yeah, I'm jacked. I don't know. If you're not I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's people like you that are like that, excite you. But I'm sure there are people out there in my corner that know when they've got it left over in the fridge, the day has been made.
So speaking of people who are having their day made, Fox News came out. This is interesting from a lot of different angles, and I thought it was something that you'd be able to kind of jump in with me. Fox is announcing that they're going to basically compete with the Weather Channel. So the same way that there's Fox Sports, Fox News, they are starting Fox Weather. And I go back and forth on this. I cannot decide if it's smart, if it's behind, if it's slow, if it's redundant. I don't know how to feel about it. My initial gut is, and I'm curious what your opinion, my initial gut is that it's almost like putting shiny wheels on a car that nobody is going to want anymore, because I don't know where cable news is going to be 3, 4, 5 years from now.
That was my first thought.
Okay.
Does Fox think, well, first of all, they both can't survive. And back when ESPN News came out, which was much more in cable TV's heyday, I don't know if you probably remember this, CNN-SI came out with their own sports channel, which didn't make it because you can't support two. Cable news will not support the Weather Channel and Fox. They won't. Now, Fox can leverage, and they can tell cable providers, if you want to show Fox News, if you want to show Fox Sports, you have to show Fox Weather, and they can package it. But to your point, that was my first thought is I don't get my news, my weather from the cable anymore. I get it from my phone. And I know video, the times these come in are during storms and during wildfires, and the video in high def is so good, but there's half the population is used to watching everything on their phone that they don't care about a 64-inch high def screen.
Yes. So this is where my second thought came from. The reason to me that the Weather Channel works is because we joke all the time. Meteorologists are right.
Right.
They don't have to be right 100% of the time. However, there is this idea of like when a meteorologist says something, it is coming from like a scientific or statistical backed statement. And so I always thought the Weather Channel worked because it's not necessarily, they have advertisers and different things, but it's not being plugged from one side or the other. And so I would always pick the Weather Channel over CNN weather, over Fox weather, over NBC weather, ABC weather. Like, so the idea of Fox or CNN or anybody having a dedicated weather channel, I feel like that is such an uphill climb to compete with the Weather Channel. It's not the same as news or finances or sports because weather is just so like, I don't want to say it's concrete, but it is very like there's not necessarily an agenda to it.
No, you make a good point. That is because we see the Weather Channel as like independent. They love the weather and they don't care about anything else.
Yes.
And you're right. There's people who won't like the left isn't watching Fox weather because they hate Fox. So you've already lost. Yeah, it's interesting. And listen, I'm sure they've done studies and they've done focus groups and they've run the numbers and they think this is going to make money for them or they wouldn't be doing it.
Sure.
But it is. I agree with you. It seems to me like an uphill climb.
It really, really does. I'm also curious. I wonder how this, like 3, 4, 5 years from now, I just don't see, like, I'm never going to get out my Fox weather app. Like I'm always like, there's so many other apps that are already ahead of the game, whether it's radars and different things. Like the same way, like you used to wear a watch and now like, I just look at my phone every time I want to know what time it is. It's the same way with the weather. Like I just kind of like, I open up my phone, I look at the app on there, I look at the radar and like, I'm done. So I don't know. Like I don't want to say it's an awful idea because like when you have a brand, you want to keep bridging out and you want to go down these different avenues. I just don't know if this is the one. This seems very redundant to me and it seems almost backward thinking, but Fox is extremely successful. So I keep trying to think if there's something I'm missing.
Right. No, I get it, but I'm with you. Uphill.
Yes. Is there a more fun word to say than innocent than wiener?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Very good question.
There's nothing to me. There might be nothing more funny than the word wiener. Couple of things here. You wanted to talk about Joey Chestnut,
especially when you're 7.
Yes, especially when you're 7 or in your 30s. I don't know. But you want to talk about Joey Chestnut. I did not see it this weekend. Did you actually watch the hot dog eating contest?
I did not. He won again.
Okay.
Here are my points, and I feel bad that we left out Joey Chestnut because it's a 4th of July holiday tradition. There we go. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest, and Joey Chestnut won again. 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes, and you have to eat the bun as well. There's 2 points to this. Number one, he's won 13 times now. He has tied Rafael Nadal, who won the French Open 13 times. No individual has won anything more than Joey Chestnut and Rafael Nadal. So the greatest athletes of all time are now Rafael Nadal and Joey Chestnut. It is not debated. It is over. The only person that may be in that competition who has won 13 championships more may be Ric Flair. I'm not sure how many times Ric Flair held the belt.
Okay.
But before you go to the other aspect, have you ever tried to eat a hot dog as fast as you can? No.
It is. I was shocked at how difficult it is to eat one hot dog as fast as you can.
Well, this is what I said to my brother after we were discussing the facts and figures. So 76 over a 7-day span is 11 hot dogs a day. If I told you had a week to eat 76 hot dogs, could you do it?
I mean, I would like to think yes. Like if that was my only goal, I would like to say yes. But I get the point that you are making is that it's not a guarantee that you would eat that many hot dogs in a week.
by Wednesday, I think you would either say, I'm going on a hunger strike or I'm jumping off a bridge. Like, I can't eat another hot dog. 11 hot dogs in it. It's basically like one hot dog an hour per waking hour, a little bit more. But it's a hot dog every hour and 20 minutes, all day, every day for a week. You'd lose your mind.
See, so to me, there's two fascinating parts of what Joey Chestnut does. There's the one that you just gave with that great statistical analysis of like when you spread it out throughout a week, who knows if you could actually do it in a week. But the other part is the speed part of it and how quickly he's doing this. Because I'm telling you, if you've never done it before, break out a stopwatch and see how fast you can eat one hot dog. It is unbelievably challenging. It is way more difficult than what the average person thinks it is.
Rafael Nadal and Joey Chestnut, two of the greatest human specimens ever.
What was your other aspect? Do you remember?
That was it.
That was it?
Oh, just that he's as good as Rafael Nadal.
Oh, okay.
And,
no,
and at 76. That's it.
That's it. So here's the other part, and we have this story coming out at noon on NorthcentralPa.com. So if you want to go read it, you can. Heinz ketchup is trying to broker a negotiation between wiener and bun companies. So for generations and for a long time, hot dogs come in packs of 10, and hot dog buns come in packs of 8. Have you ever ran into this quandary?
I never thought about it.
Yep.
Carrie sent us this. And then I was like, it really doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes no sense at all. So I was thinking to myself, I was trying to come up with like other examples of this, and I couldn't really think of it. I couldn't think of another example where two things that go so hand in hand don't align.
Here, my only logical guess is that so often hot dogs are eaten not at a picnic. I mean, they're such a picnic food, but there are other places too, whether it be at Little League fields or whether it be, whatever. And, you're grilling just for the wife and the kids, and you don't go through, 10 of them. You don't go through a whole pack, and the hot dogs themselves will keep a lot longer than the buns will keep.
Yeah.
That's my only logical explanation. But no, if hot dogs and buns, they should come in, it should be equal.
How about the ingenious of Heinz to basically make this like part of the marketing strategy behind it is one of the best I've ever heard.
It is brilliant. It really
is. For them to come out and say they're going to broker a deal between the two companies. And the insane part is if they're successful, like they'll promote, I mean, that will be one of the greatest American promotions of 2021.
And it should have been French's because mustard has to go on a hot dog. Ketchup does not.
I don't understand the like mustard relish part. I don't get the fascination with. See, you're all in. See, I don't get it.
Like if you're going to go exotic, like a kraut dog is the best. Sauerkraut on a hot dog, a chili dog. If you're going to go something really exotic. But if you're just going to go like plain ordinary, it is relish, mustard, onions. That's it. No ketchup.
Interesting. There was places down at the beach now. You know what they're putting on top of the hot dogs? They're putting mac and cheese like on top of the hot dog. That's like the thing now at the beach.
See, I mean, why would you ever put chili on a hot dog? The first person that did it, but once they did it, it's delicious. So I would have never thought to put mac and cheese on a hot. Now, see, this is one of the crazy things. I love cheeseburgers. I don't like cheese on my hot dog.
Interesting. Why?
Because it doesn't taste as good.
I don't know if that's true.
Have you put melted cheese on a hot dog?
I have. Yeah. I think the hot dog is a little overrated. I am a hamburger person. If I get the choice between a hamburger and a hot dog, I'm going hamburger every time.
Well, so am I. I agree with that 100%.
I think the hot dog's a little overrated. But I will say this. If I'm going to have a hot dog, and I'm not like an adventurous eater, like I am not somebody who likes a lot of stuff on my burger, stuff like that. The hot dog is the one thing that I'm like very willing to try stuff on. Like I will put, like I'll do the chili dog, I'll do the mac and cheese dog, like I'll try the relish. Like I will try different things on the hot dog. And I don't know why that is the case. Like I don't want my burger ruined, but I'll try anything on a hot dog.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah,
I do.
pretty interesting. Go ahead and thank Wise Markets.
Thank you to Wise Markets. They're everywhere. So whatever your grocery needs, pharmacy, bakery, flowers, whatever you need, Wise Markets is your stop. The local yet huge, as they were founded, Sunbury, Pennsylvania, headquarters are still there, but they're all over, and there's hundreds of locations. And there's certainly one in your neighborhood, unless you're watching us in like California, then there probably isn't. But all over Pennsylvania and neighboring states. So thank you to Wise Markets for all they do for the community. Of course, that's where I got my COVID shot, was at Wise Markets. So thank you to them. You can also buy your lottery tickets there. So thank you to Wise Markets. I hit the one in Montoursville all the time. I also hit the one on the Crick Road sometimes when I'm up this way and I need stuff. So, but like I said, they're everywhere. And thank you. And they also employ like lots of high school kids during the summers when they need things. So. And if you need a job, they're also hiring. You can see those billboards too. I know Wise Markets are if you're looking for good employment, Wise Markets is a good place to turn. So thank you to Wise Markets for all they do and sponsoring our wheel. They have a $25 gift card, a $50 gift card, a $100 gift card. We just gave a $100 gift card away the other day. We also have other sponsors, Eat and Run Catering, the Moon and Raven, which is a fantastic restaurant here in downtown Williamsport, and also the Break Room.
Perfect. In order to win, join the Midday Show Facebook group. You're automatically, once you join, follow with us, and you are automatically have a chance to be drawn. If your name is drawn, Mark's going to spin the wheel over his shoulder there. Today's random winner from the Midday Show Facebook group is
Joey Chestnut.
A Lancer. It's a Lancer.
Oh, God.
All right.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to lose. I usually don't try to lose. I'm trying to lose. Be a loser. Be a loser. Be a loser. Be a loser. Good. Good. And that was the $100 one, Baggett. We were right there. You were that close.
Letting them know. Is it? I'm pretty sure I bet you Emma would know this. Isn't Baggett is from the Shire? It's from the Hobbit.
I don't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I like Tommy. Don't ever tell him I said that though, because
I'm texting him right now. I'm letting him know. Another round of Quizzo. How did we do last week?
We did great, and I have Quizzo stories for you.
Oh, you have Quizzo. Do you want to bring
John gets in? Yeah, bring him in.
All right, we'll bring in John. Bear with us here as we figure this out, and we get John to the middle. John, can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Right.
All right. I went to Quizzo last night. At Boom City. That's why I have leftovers. I went with my 2 daughters and my 1 daughter's boyfriend, and It reminded me of a very important life lesson. When you're playing any sort of a game, you should listen to the rules because that could come in handy.
Yeah.
And this, like, you're allowed to double certain sections and get double points and stuff like that. And we thought they were limitless, like water and oxygen. But they're not. They're strictly counted as kind of like timeouts or replay challenges. And we had a commanding lead early because we were burning through our doubles, and then I went up and I actually questioned the scoring because you weren't there. What's the dude's name that was there?
Bill.
Bill. Very nice guy. He's very nice to me when he was telling me, no, you're a dumbass and you don't know how this works. You can't do this every time. And I was like, oh, I will go sit back down now then. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Great. Couple things, just real quick. I think we need to get this straight. You guys are, unfortunately, you guys are not quiz masters. Okay, there are 2 levels. Okay, you've got junior quiz master, and then you've got senior quiz master. Senior would be me. There's only one of those, and until I'm not around anymore, that's it. Junior quiz master, you actually would need to host a night of trivia to be considered a junior quiz master. Okay, so now if you guys want to put in your application, maybe you guys could be like a celebrity duo host some night. Maybe that could be fun.
What you don't understand is that we do not want to be senior. We are grand quiz master. Maybe even ultimate quiz master. I'm not sure. So
I need to restructure the rankings there. Maybe.
We have ascended.
Yes. And Ric Flair, 42 total championships, seven-time WCW heavyweight champion. Very
Joey
impressive.
Chestnut, who?
Yeah.
So Ric Flair is the greatest athlete of all time, followed by Rafael Nadal and Joey Chestnut.
All right, you guys ready to go?
We're ready.
All right. So I don't know if you've heard this. There's a new COVID variant, the Lambda variant. Got me thinking, not to be confused with your first question, Lambda is a fictional fraternity found in what series of movies?
Jeff, give it to me.
It's Revenge of the Nerds.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And actually, variants of COVID are not funny, but when I read the name Lambda, it made me chuckle a little bit.
Can you name the female fraternity that they had their mixer with?
Yes, the Omega Moos.
Very good. Very good.
You
are senior quiz master. You are like all knowing.
I'm going to tell you, I actually like Revenge of the Nerds 2 a little bit better than the original, which is very
in paradise.
Yeah. They get stranded on that island. Pretty great.
38 Special had the theme song, Take Me Back to Paradise.
All right. Question number 2. 100 satangs make up the basic monetary unit of what country? 100 satangs make up the basic monetary unit of what country?
Blossberg.
I wish. I'd be throwing satangs around. 100
It sounds Asian. There's my help.
It does sound Asian. Maybe
I know
Thailand?
Vietnam has it's a dong, so it's not Vietnam. I can help you with that.
What about? I'm
Korea?
thinking like Korea, Thailand. Like I'm thinking something along those lines. If I was by myself, I would have guessed Thailand, but not because I know anything, but just because like I feel like I don't know Thailand's, which is why I'm thinking that might be it. Like I'm trying to think of another Asian country that I wouldn't know the monetary unit.
This is what I would say. In Taiwan, like the names and the words are kind of the same, like Japanese names and like Pacquiao. I know Pacquiao is Filipino. When the Yankees had Ching-Ming Wong, he was Taiwanese, and his last name ended A-N-G. So a satong, that's my only guess to go with Taiwan because Taiwan has the ong.
Let's try it. That's a good one. Let's try Taiwan.
That's your answer?
Yep.
Yes.
You were close, Jeff. It was actually Thailand. You had it, but you talked yourself out of it.
Is that what you said? Did you say Thailand?
I said it like 3 times, but you were so caught up on Major League Baseball pitchers that I couldn't get your attention.
That's pretty good, though. I love the thought process there. See, this is what you guys make a good team. You really did.
Sorry. Yeah, good
All right,
team.
Question number 3. There's 2 answers here. Let's just say you got to get one of them. If you get at least one, I'll give you credit as getting the answer correct. Okay. What were the next two highest grossing movies of the 1970s after Star Wars? So we've got Star Wars, and then we have these 2 movies. And since I'm going to give you credit if you get just one of them, I don't think I'm going to give you a hint. I do have a hint lined up if you would like. But the next 2 highest grossing movies of the 1970s after Star Wars.
Here's how ignorant I am. When did Star Wars, what year did
77.
Star Wars? Okay.
Star Wars was 77. Here are my 2 immediate guesses. Jaws or The Godfathers. 1 and 2. I know 1 and 2 were great. I don't know if 3 was as successful. The thing about The Godfathers, it was older and ticket prices were a little cheaper probably in like 72. I think Godfather was 72. The next 2 highest grossing movies, those would be the only 2. I know Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out, and that was kind of different. I know Rocky was out, but I don't think Rocky did as well as what was the other one I said? Godfather, and what was the other one I said?
Go with, I like The Godfather 1 and 2.
I can't remember which other one I just said that I thought was good.
Then it must not have been one of the 2 highest grossing movies of the 1970s.
Jaws. Oh, Jaws is the other one I said. Yeah, we'll go with Godfather.
As one of your answers, or are you going Godfather 1 and 2 as the
Oh, no, I don't want to go with Godfather 1 and 2.
So Godfather's 1. Okay, we'll lock you in on Godfather as one of them.
Then let's throw Jaws in.
And you're going to throw Jaws in as your second answer. All right. Well, I'm going to give you credit because you got one of them right. Jaws is definitely one. And then The Exorcist is the other one. The Exorcist.
So that's a good one.
My hint was going to be both considered to be scary movies, but I figured if that would give it away if I was only giving it.
I mean, The Exorcist is like a kind of a straight out horror movie. I can't believe that did that. Well, I mean, it was earth shattering when it came out, but which I've gone back and watched it. I don't think it's all that great.
It's overrated.
I agree.
Yeah.
Jeff,
All right.
have you seen Exorcist?
I've seen the whole movie, but never in its entirety.
Yeah.
Like, I catch it, but I've never seen it from start to finish.
Okay.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
I won't.
All right. Question 4. What is the now? And pay attention here. What is the most populous U.S. city that is over 325 square miles? Now, for reference, New York City is about 300 square miles. They are obviously number 1 on the list in terms of most populous U.S. cities. Chicago is 228 square miles, which is also top 5 most populous. So what I'm looking for here is the most populous U.S. city that is over 325 square miles. So lots of people, lots of land area.
My immediate guess is Houston. Jeff, just because Houston is big. Houston is like the 4th biggest city in the country. It's much bigger than people think. I can't imagine, and this is my simplicity. Texas is just big, and they say everything's bigger in Texas. They have so much space that I've never been to Houston, but I can imagine it's sprawling. Like another one that comes to mind is Detroit. I can't imagine that Detroit sprawls like Houston does.
No, Houston's a good guess. I was trying to think of something maybe more Western, but Houston makes the most sense. The problem, it can't be an East Coast, because in East Coast everything's built so close together. There's no way it's an Eastern. I just don't.
Now here's another stupid. John gave us New York, which is 1. He gave us Chicago, which is 3. Left out LA, which would be 2. Does LA sprawl enough?
It could. West Coast, everything's lower. Nothing's built as high. So it's got to be more spread out. So it's possible. If before you said Houston, I would have said Los Angeles. But after you said Houston, I agree with you. I would think of Texas being more sprawled out than Los Angeles.
And I guess it would have to do with city limits and Orange County because when I lived in Baltimore, there's Baltimore City, which is then surrounded by Baltimore County, and they're different. As terms. So since I screwed up Thailand, I'm throwing this one to you. You make the final call.
I'll say Houston. I like your Houston answer. Let's go Houston. All
right. You guys, once again, in the ballpark, but not quite there. It is actually the number 2 city on the list, Los Angeles, coming in at 469 square miles, about 3.8 million people. You guys were right there. You had it.
See, the West, I don't know why. The West Coast, they don't build up. For whatever reason.
Because the earth shakes and things fall.
Yeah. So that makes sense. I think Houston was a great answer. I'm not upset about going with Houston.
We're getting to the rim, rattle in and out, and we just can't get it to go down. It's just not our day.
I feel like Patrick Ewing.
All right.
And John, let me just interrupt you. Why don't you plug yourself here while we have a chance, and then I'll tell you Jeff's love affair with Patrick Ewing.
Yeah. So again, Mark, you already mentioned Boom City. That's Monday nights at 8 o'clock. Tonight, Tuesday, pretty exciting. We are back at Otto's in State College for the first time in over a year. That'll start at 8:30. We have the Rusty Rail in Mifflinburg at 6, and then Bullfrog Brewery at 8:30. So lots of places to play tonight. Wednesday nights, we're at the Brickyard in Williamsport, 9 o'clock. Thursdays, Town Tavern in Lewisburg. And one of our newest places, Three Beards Brewing Company in Sunbury, home of Wise Markets at 7 p.m.
And just, I know you plugged this before, but make sure you go and eat something, drink something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, don't just take up a seat. It's, I mean, the trivia is fun, but the food at a lot of these places is just absolutely delicious. I know Boom City, you can't really go wrong. I always get Italian when I'm there, but yeah. So make sure you're supporting and you're tipping the waitresses and all that good stuff.
100%. Yeah. All right. Last question.
Oh, and I want to tell you that Jeff thinks Patrick Ewing is the greatest coach in college basketball history.
Huh. Okay.
He doesn't have time to explain it right now, but when you talk of the brilliant minds, he puts Patrick Ewing right up there.
I'm so glad colleges just hired the best player that ever played for them, because that's just the best coach that you could possibly hire.
Yes.
Every college should just do that.
All right.
Weird agreement.
Hey.
Although I think Dikembe Mutombo is better. Wait, isn't Iverson better? If you're picking a favorite all-time great Georgetown guy, are you going Ewing over Iverson?
Ewing over Iverson, yeah. If you're just talking about what they did at Georgetown and what they accomplished, it's Ewing, yeah.
So we're talking about just college.
Well, that's because Iverson left.
If you're just talking about who made a bigger impact on the college and their success, it was Ewing.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Sixers fan, but I could see that.
But that's because Iverson left after 2 years because they knocked on his door and said, "Alan, you haven't been to a class yet. You need to leave." So anyway, be that as it may.
All right. Question 5. You guys have mentioned Rafael, was it Nadal's name a couple times?
Yes.
So I do have a Wimbledon question here for you. Who is the second most men's Wimbledon titles in the Open era after Federer? Federer's got 8. It's not Nadal, so don't say Nadal. I'm going to help you out there. Who has the second most men's singles Wimbledon's titles in the Open era after Federer? Federer's got 8, the most.
Pete
Sampras is a really good guess.
Andre
Yvonne Lendl was really good for a while and did not kind of have a natural enemy. Borg, how many Borg win before he quit? 4? I would say Sampras over Borg. Boris Becker won a couple, but I don't think he won that many. Agassi didn't win. I don't think Agassi won as many as Sampras because Wimbledon is such a serve and volley place. And Sampras was. It has to be either Sampras or Lendl, and when in doubt, Lendl was so unlikable. I would go with the American.
I don't want this segment to end. I just want you to keep talking. I want you to keep breaking down men's tennis for me.
I know I've watched a lot more tennis.
I could tell right away. I'm impressed. I'm trying to think of all my serve and volley tennis players that I know. Racking my brain.
And obviously it's not Martina Navratilova. I was ready. I was all ready to go with Martina. I thought that's where my answer. She's probably won more than Federer, though. She probably won more than 8. But yeah, we'll go. Let's go with Sampras. All right. Hold on. Jeff, are you good with Sampras as an answer?
I think you stole my idea. Unless I'm wrong, then no.
You said it. We'll go with Sampras.
Yeah, you guys got it. Pete Sampras. He's got 7, 1 behind.
Very nice.
So the question is, in their peak, who would win, Pete or Roger? That's the question. That's for another day because, listen, I would love to stay here and talk with you guys, but I got to get going. I'm multitasking today. I got concrete getting poured out back. I got a meeting at 1. Lots of stuff happening here on the home front. So,
well, hey, we appreciate you every Tuesday.
Yeah, it's fun.
Get out and I mean, it's a blast. We had so much fun last night. I took my teenagers out, and we had so much fun. Great food, good time, and you get to make fun of people. Like last night, I talked us out of an answer that the kids were right, and I will not hear the end of it.
Hey, good
Thanks, John.
Hey, we'll see you, John.
All right. Not bad. It is funny how you talk yourself out of right answers. Like if you sit and think long enough, you can talk yourself right out of it.
Well, what happened? Here's what we had last night. The one category, it's a audio category, and it was songs that have hard in the title. You would probably have known this. It was the kind of the rap version of "It's a Hard Knock Life."
Okay.
So it was a rapper, and we're just naming rappers that were famous enough that they would be picked for this.
Yeah.
And I'm just I don't know anything about rap, but I'm just throwing out famous names. And my daughter's boyfriend said Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I thought he was just spitballing names like the rest of us. Right. Then we turned the paper in, and he goes, "No, I really think it is Jay-Z." And I said, "Do you want me to go get it, and we'll change our answer?" And he's like, "No, I'm not sure, but that's who I think it is." And sure enough, I think we went with Ludacris or somebody like that. And it was Jay-Z. So yeah, I was like, dude, if you know, you gotta let me, like, I know.
It also in the Austin Powers movie, Mini-Me and Dr. Evil do a like Weird Al Yankovic style cover of "It's a Hard Knock Life" by Jay-Z. Do you remember that at all?
No. But he got, and you would know this, you would have been proud of this. There was a Daft Punk song.
Yes.
He knew that one. He drilled it.
Daft Punk, people know Daft Punk. Even if you don't know Daft Punk, you do know Daft Punk.
Like, and right when it came up, he was like, "Oh, it's Daft Punk."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, I've heard of them."
Yeah. And you were like, and you'd probably heard the song before. You just never realized you were listening to Daft Punk.
Maybe.
No, that's what it was. Anything else before we head out?
No, but it really, I mean, I've played trivia before. I know people that have trivia teams that they go every week, or they go to, like you talked about when you guys used to go to the Bullfrog all the time.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It really is fun because the questions are, you know, like they're playing music and they're asking, you know, they mix in, they ask questions from all over the genres. So even if you think you're not going to help, you are going to help.
Oh yeah. Especially if your team is kind of like spread out. If you have different ages, different genres, people listen to different stuff. Like, yeah, it is amazing how the more diversified your group is, the better off it is. I'm telling you, you don't want to go with your best friends. You will lose if you go to trivia with your best friends. You all know the same things.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
No, it'll happen.
But it's still a good time. Because anytime you can make fun of your best friends is worth it.
No, that's true. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Weiss Markets for being our title sponsor. And be sure to go to NorthcentralPa.com for all your local news. And especially now, read the story about Heinz ketchup and how they're saving hot dogs one bun at a time.
They are. It is a marriage made in heaven, thanks to Heinz.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Jeff Everett. He is Mark Messina. And we will see you.